let's look at some of the issues trending currently, and that has to do with fire outbreak. Yesterday, 2 fire outbreaks were recorded, one in the Ashanti region, that's the Kumasi Central Market, and one in the Greater Accra region industrial area. But the Greater Accra region has so far recorded 303 fire outbreaks between January to March 2017. And let's go to a touch screen and look at some of the statistics we have on fire outbreaks between January to March 2017 here in our country. First of all, we'll look at the nature of the fire and the numbers recorded so far. For industrial fire, we have 23, and that actually one was also recorded yesterday. Vehicular fire, we have 170. Institutional fire outbreaks, we have 37. Electrical fire outbreaks, 140. Commercial fire outbreaks, that's 196. Bushfires, 285, and totaling, that's 1,455 cases of fire outbreaks recorded so far. And this afternoon, I have been joined in the studio by the PR of the Ghana National Fire Service. He is in the person of Billy Anaglati. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Should I even say good afternoon because of what's happening? You're welcome.
Yes, thank you.
And it looks like the fires will just not go away.
Yes, exactly. But unfortunately, I didn't see domestic fires on your statistic that you have. Because domestic fires outnumber all that, it takes about half of the 1,455 that we are seeing. Apparently, it's not there. I don't know.
So we'll add that. Thank you so much for drawing attention to that. But yesterday we recorded 2 fire outbreaks, one in the Ashanti region and one in the Greater Accra region. Can you give us some updates on what exactly you've gathered regarding the outbreak?
Well, actually, with the Kumasi fire, it is just a straightforward fire in terms of investigation, because we... When
you say straightforward, what do you mean?
In the sense that, yeah, we are all aware from the information we gathered from the police that, yes, it was a Kia truck loaded with foam mattresses and to the height, a certain height, and he's been warned not to move towards that direction because of overhead electrical wires. But he ignored all those warnings and moved towards that direction. And there was bridging because of the foam mattresses that touches the overhead electrical wires. So because the bridge that has started the fire on the mattresses, spreading to the vehicle itself, because it was just in front of a shop where they sell highly flammable substances such as, turpentine and all that. So the radiation quickly picked fire from the shop that has spread to 2 other areas.
Yeah, I'll hold you there. We're still talking about fire outbreaks, and in the wake of the fire outbreak at the Kumasi Central Market, the Ghana National Fire Service is embarking on a sensitization program at the Medina markets. My colleague Edward Kwabi is with the Regional Fire Officer, and he will be joining us shortly to give us some live updates on what exactly is happening and the measures taking place.
Following the fire that gutted parts of the Kumasi market, and of course what happened at Aveno yesterday, where fire gutted some structures there. Now the Accra Regional Fire Command has decided to embark on some sensitization of a sort, and also visit the various markets and educate people who trade there about the effects of ensuring that you keep your things clean and clear from fire in the various markets. And we are going to speak to, this afternoon, we're going to speak to the Deputy Regional Fire Commander, who has visited the Medina markets just to ensure that there's some sanity here and ensure that fire does not catch this very market. In the spate of some hours last night and yesterday, I must say, we saw that some markets were gutted by fire, and this is what the Regional Fire Command is seeking to halt or stop. And we've been joined this afternoon by Assistant Chief Fire Officer Samuel Sapomesa. He is the Deputy Regional Fire Commander for Greater Accra Region. He is currently at the Medina Market just to ensure that people adhere to safety measures. Good afternoon, sir, and thanks for joining us on Midday Live on TV3. Now, walking through this market, we have seen that accessibility is a huge problem. How is your outfit ensuring that the Medina Market, for example, becomes very accessible?
A cursory look at the market clearly shows that all is not well with this market. The whole place is congested. Traders are selling their wares in the walkways. We're here for two basic reasons: to do a fire safety audit, identify the flaws, and make recommendations. We would cooperate with the Assembly to implement these recommendations.
I also saw that we have a lot of naked wires here, which are possible causes of fire. What is your outfit going to do about the naked wires?
Yes, in fact, we have a team here. We're going to identify these naked wires and correct them. We make sure we look for qualified electricians to do the job for us.
Now back to the accessibility of this market. If my camera can capture the routes over there, you can see clearly that we have a lot of people inundating the street or the corners of the market. That will ensure that, in fact, if there's a fire outbreak, the fire service will not be able to permeate or move through that portion and come into the market. Immediately, what should be the solution? Because you walked through the place and you saw that accessibility is a huge problem. How do you ensure that you get the traders off the pavement so that in case there's anything like that, your men are able to access this place?
Yes, we'll talk to the Assembly. I think it is their job to move them off the walkways. We'll cooperate with them. Otherwise, we'll have a problem here sooner or later.
All right. We also understand that you brought in some fire extinguishers as part of your efforts to curtail any future fire in this market. How many fire extinguishers have you brought to this market? And basically, which positions are you going to put these, which corners of this market are you going to position the fire extinguishers?
We brought 10 of them. The positioning we have not determined yet. We'll ask the team, the safety team here, to identify the positions for us.
All right, so we'll be speaking to the Deputy Regional Fire Commander in the person of Assistant Chief Fire Officer Samuel Sapomensa, and he's been telling us about plans to ensure that they safeguard this market, that is the Medina market, just to prevent an outbreak of fire here. They have also presented about 10 fire extinguishers to the market just to ensure that in future they will be able to fight fire should there be an outbreak. Back to you, Wendy, in the studio to continue the discussion.
Indeed, Edward Kwabi, for that update from the Medina market. But even before I cut you short and we went to Edward Kwabi, you told us about an update from the Ashanti region. Before we look at the Greater Accra region bit, the Assistant Chief Fire Officer kept stressing that we will talk to the Assembly. We will talk to the Assembly. And I have personally gone round with you. I remember some few years ago when the Kantamanto market was gutted by fire. And one of the concerns you stressed over and over again is collaboration. Because after the fire outbreaks, you go around, you do your work, you give recommendations, which are not followed. How has progress been so far, and what is the way forward when it comes to this?
Well, that is why he keep insisting that, yes, they will collaborate and they will, to the assemblies. You know, the assemblies are the custodian of these markets that we have. Day in, day out, we keep talking about market fires, but we have not been able to get to the root cause of those fires in the market. Sincerely, I keep saying that if you look at all the markets, even in Accra alone, 90% of all those markets are actually not designed and constructed. They were formed. One person begin to sell somewhere. Before you know, somebody joined and the market is formed. You know, invariably, you know that, yes, that market will not have anything to prevent fire outbreaks in the first place. You look at Malamata market, you look at Udona.
But are the assemblies willing? Are you seeing any change? Are you seeing the collaboration you want?
By now we have seen a change on these markets. What were some of those our recommendations since 1993 when the Makola fire was first gutted market was first gutted in fire, and we begin to have fire risk assessment in all the markets, and there are recommendations. The major aspect was that these markets needs to be redesigned, and we are having this fire.
An update on the industrial area fire as well.
Well, with the industrial area fire, actually, when we had a call after 5 minutes past 8 p.m. yesterday, we got there. It was difficult assessing the exact route where the fire was because of partitioning the walls and other things. and until we got there, we were able to fight it. But the good news is that if you look at the intensity of the fire, because of the highly flammable material and the substances that were within the area where the fire was, but the fire service was able to prevent the fire from spreading. During the firefighting, we initiated investigations. That was how some of us, we have to leave the ground, 2 a.m. this morning, just because we really want to pick few clues and other things that would aid us and assist us in our investigation. We follow up this morning. I was just coming from that place that I've even gotten here. Yes, we are picking issues to see what exactly might be the cause of the fire. Okay. The interesting aspect of it is that where they are calling the curing room, where they pack the new products directly from the machine and they keep them for cooling, is a very place where we had the fire. And you be interested to know that even that area, they don't even have any electrical gadgets, but they closed from work and they've gone before the fire, started. So we need to really investigate to know what exactly might be the cause.
Well, thank you very much. I have been speaking to Billy Anaglate. He is the PR of the Ghana National Fire Service, and we're looking at concerns and fire outbreaks that have occurred recently and issues relating to fire outbreaks. Thank you, sir, for your time.